guys, it's September 29th, and I'm considering this my opening day of bow season here in Wisconsin. I tried coming out here on opening day 2 weeks ago, and I didn't make it more than a half hour. Just got eaten alive by mosquitoes. I saw a bunch of deer. I was in this stand. But now, 2 weeks later, we had our first frost this morning. It got below freezing last night. I have yet to see a mosquito today, so I think that frost took care of them. I also have yet to see a deer, so hopefully stuff starts picking up here. It's also opening day of the regular waterfowl season here in Wisconsin. So I wish I would have had the camera on at first light this morning, because it sounded like World War III out there. It's 7 o'clock, and I already heard some boat motors firing up. I think people limited out already. I'm hoping that all the shooting doesn't shut these deer down today. I still have yet to see one. It's either going to shut them down or get them moving. It was really clear skies last night. The moon was bright. It wasn't a full moon, but it was bright, so that might be a factor as well. The spot I'm hunting is my family's property. I grew up here. We got 40 acres. The house I grew up in is just over the hill here. I haven't hunted it in a few years. We just, this last year, sold a 80-acre property that we hunted for 15 years, and that kind of stunk to get rid of that. So it was either go to public land or come back to my old stomping grounds. I'll probably do a little bit of both this year. So I'm just trying to learn this place again. I'm kind of on a pipeline right here. On the right hand side of me over here, we got a river. There's a lot of bucks that like to hide down in there. And then over here is a big marsh. So we're kind of on a big dry spot in between the two. And from the trail cam pictures this year, we don't have a whole lot of resident bucks on the property. We got one. He's like 1.5-year-old. Good little buck. But we'll probably let him go. But there's a ton of does. And in this stand right here, I'm on the corner of a fence line where these does come out of the woods behind me here on this ridge and filter down into this field I got in front of me. They come from both sides, little pinch point down here. When I sat in the stand for a half hour 2 weeks ago, I had that little buck show up and a few sets of does, so I'm hoping that happens again today and I can fill the freezer with a doe or two here. There's I don't know if you can hear him or not, but there's a rooster pheasant that's just going nuts this morning. I don't know if it's all the gunshots or what, but he goes off like every 5-10 minutes. I'm just super stoked to be sitting out here this morning. It's I've been missing it for sure. There's some more gunshots over there. If I don't see any deer this morning, I'm blaming you guys because I asked if I should go duck hunting or bow hunting this morning. You guys said bow hunting, so we'll see what happens. When I was a kid, this was a hot spot for deer too. It always kind of worked this way where we never had a whole lot of mature bucks on the property, but when the rut started picking up, they'd come out of the marsh over here in the river and they'd just be running around all around here chasing does. So it's a fun place to be in November and a good place to be the rest of the year if you're trying to fill the freezer. I think I've gotten a doe off this property every single year that I've been able to hunt. I shot my first buck with a bow right up on the ridge over here. I was actually getting out of the shower to go hunting. I looked out the window and I saw him walking down the ridge, and he bedded in some little cedars. And I grabbed my bow and went running outside. Wasn't wearing shoes or socks or a shirt. All I had was camo pants on. I don't even think I was wearing underwear. And I crawled up that ridge. He was probably about 80 yards away when I started, and the wind was just perfect. All I could see were his antlers, and when the wind would blow, the grass was real tall. When the wind would blow, I'd crawl closer to him and I'd watch his antlers, and if they'd turn towards me, I'd stop. And I just kept getting closer and closer. And I kind of lost him at one point when I got real close. And I knew he was real close, so I drew back. And I stood up and came out from behind one of these cedar trees. And he was right on the other side of it. I shot him point blank. He was basically facing me, and got heart and lungs. He went just down the hill and expired. It's a good buck. I think he was an 8-pointer. Um, that was one of the coolest things that I've ever done. I went back and ranged it later, and I shot him at 2 yards. My dad shot a nice buck right on the tree line over here. So, 2 good bucks shot within 50 yards of this spot right here. I'm hoping we can make it happen again this year. I'm in this evergreen tree, and I always wanted to put a stand down here, but they were always so tiny you could never find a tree big enough to hang a stand in. But this year I finally managed to put one up, so I'm pretty pumped about that. I love the view from this spot too. So I was messing with my phone. That's what I'm filming with, my iPhone. And it all of a sudden just shut off. The battery must have got too cold. So I took it off the mount over here and was sticking it in my jacket, trying to warm it up, and had 2 does come over here at 30 yards. And I kept trying to turn my phone on and it wouldn't work. So I didn't get them on film, but I had 2 does over here at 30 yards. The shot I'm looking for is under 20. Oops. I'm looking for a shot around 20. And they never came within range, otherwise I would have tried to get one, regardless of if I would have got it on camera or not. But now my iPhone battery is like completely drained, so I'm gonna be keeping it in my armpit until I see something. Well, that does it for my morning hunt. I don't know if I'm going to be out this afternoon or not. All I had was those 2 does come by. They were at 30 yards. If you see back here behind me, they were just behind that little tree there, so I wouldn't have had a shot anyway. And plus my camera, or my phone, I guess, was dead from it being too cold. So I'm heading out right now. I gotta do some fall activities with the family today. I would say that hunting is probably my favorite fall activity, but we're gonna go to the pumpkin patch and apple orchard, I think, and should be a good time. So I'm gonna sign off here, and maybe I'll see you guys again this afternoon, but I'll be putting this video up for you guys. Hopefully we'll be able to get a deer on camera at some point this year.